Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Just Sports show. We'll say I was trying to think before I started this. Should I call it show? Should I call it segment? I'm not sure. But welcome to Just Sports. This is a new thing that I'm trying. If you're new, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Hey, if you're old or new, make sure you slap that like button, okay? I want to see that like button on the ground with a forearm shiver right to its face. I want to see it. I want to see it look hurt. All right, and also slap the bell too if you want notifications for the podcast or the Just Sports whatever. Also hit the bell aggressively as well too. How you guys doing? Hey, just as an FYI, you guys, just kind of before I start diving into topics, right? Before I start diving into sports, let me give you guys kind of an explanation of why I'm doing this and who I am. And who, what I'm about. So the reason why I am doing this Just Sports show, whatever, is because obviously on my regular podcast, like the channel name is called Disclaimer Podcast. I talk about anything and everything on my podcast, but I always try to avoid sports because I know not everybody likes sports, but I like sports, and I needed a lane, I needed an avenue, a vessel to express my, sports opinions. You have all these lunatics out there expressing their sports opinions. What about me, though, dude? Right? I'm a lunatic. I need to express my opinions as well on sports. And, of course, I'm going to pretend like I know everything, like I have all the answers, because that's what it takes. Let's be honest here. That's what it takes. Watching all these ESPN analysts and everything and all these radio hosts, that's what it takes, is you have to pretend like you know exactly what you're talking about, when really they're just a bunch of lunatics. And guess what? Me included. So basically I'm just kind of starting this just to be able to talk about sports. Now, what sports am I going to be talking about? We're talking, for this time of the year, at least it's going to be college football and NFL. Mainly college football. I might touch on NFL a few times, but it's mainly going to be college football. That's one of my favorite things to watch. And then obviously next year, if I should still be doing this show. I mean, I'm thinking down the road here. We got like NBA playoffs, college basketball. I do watch soccer. I do watch Premier League and stuff. So I don't know how many Americans would like that, but Europeans probably like they should like that stuff because that's their main sport. We got Olympics. We got Olympics next August. Okay, I'm thinking way down the line here, guys. We're thinking way down the line. Okay, so lots of different topics that I will be covering, but mainly in this time of the year, it's gonna be college football, NFL, right? And for college, I am a huge. Just to preface. I am a huge Ohio State fan. My we're all from Ohio. My family's always, we've been bathing in scarlet and gray ever since we were born. Okay. I have all my relatives live out in Ohio, all that good stuff. And, ever since I was born, I've been watching Ohio State football games since I can remember. Okay. The first game that I remember of Ohio State was, that I can recall my memory was the national title in 2002. That was the first game that I can recall because I remember coming back and forth from watching the television down here and then playing Xbox or Fusion Frenzy or something like that on my Xbox. Kept going back and forth. And then once Ohio State won, we ran outside with flags. My brothers ran outside. We had flags. I was very little though. But that's the first game that I remember. I've always been watching Ohio State since I was born. So pretty much a huge Ohio State fan across any college sports. I always cheer for Ohio State. In terms of professional sports, NFL, I'm not really I don't have a specific team that I'm cheering for. Obviously, I want Cleveland to do good, and Cincinnati, any Ohio team I'll cheer for. And the same goes with NBA. Any professional sports, I'll cheer for Ohio stuff. Generally, unless I have a reason not to, I guess. But mainly a lot of Ohio stuff. So that's just a little bit. That's just a preface. Okay, that's just a little. A summary of what I'm about and who I cheer for, and why I cheer for. Because I'm not one of those bandwagon fans for Ohio State. Okay, who's I like him just because we're good. Hey, I was a fan in 2011 when we went 6-7, okay? I was a fan then, and I'm a fan now, right? And now, dude, do you want to talk about? I mean, dude, this Ohio State team. Let's just dive right in. This Ohio State team, man. So last night we played Nebraska, right? I'm thinking, hey, could be. My prediction was like a 41-20 win. I thought Nebraska, their offense would at least give our defense some fits. They're gonna give us something. They're gonna throw in all these wrinkles. They're throwing the daggum woodshed at Ohio State. Whatever that means, I don't know, but they're throwing everything at us. Okay, everything that they possess, they're throwing at us because obviously, you're Ohio State. You're gonna get teams. The teams that you're playing are gonna give you their best shot. So I'm thinking, oh boy. Yeah, this could be. We're going in Lincoln, full pack stadium, ABC primetime. We have not seen Ohio State go into such a hostile environment yet this year, and obviously it's only the fifth. It's the only the fifth game of the season, right? And I mean we've looked great through 4 games. I mean we've looked dominant. I mean the worst game that we had was against Florida Atlantic, 45-21. That's probably the worst that we did. And then we've gone uphill from there. I mean, we've crazily improved. Our offense looks lethal, dude. Our offense looks lethal. But I'm thinking, maybe a stumble right here in Nebraska. I was predicting 41-20. Dude, what can I like? First of all, will Nebraska ever get a quarterback who can actually throw the ball? Will they get a quarterback who can throw the ball? Yeah, for some reason, I remember when I was, back in 2012? I forget what year it was. They had Teo Martinez. There was another guy a few years ago they had. I forget what his name was. But they were always they don't know how to throw a football, okay? And their quarterback, Martinez, that's his last name, right? Martinez. I'm such a noob. I should have the roster pulled up right now, but I don't because I'm a noob. That's okay. It's the first episode. But... Dude, I mean, literally, our guys are on the ground, okay? Akuta's on the ground. There's interceptions just falling into our lap, all right? Falling into our lap. What is going on, dude? And Scott Frost should be good with quarterbacks, right? I mean, he should be breeding quarterbacks who can who have at least the intangibles of a quarterback. He should be able to throw, dude. His third interception that went flying over his receiver's head to nobody, to Jordan Fuller. Yeah, Jordan Fuller. It was like me and my brother looked at each other like, why are you throwing? There was not even close. Now, granted, it's easy to make fun of him and laugh at him. I'm sure it's difficult to see over his lineman. Maybe he thought I don't know. I mean, it's more difficult than we think, but I mean, come on, dude. Come on. All right. Nebraska needs to get a grip with their quarterbacks. But I thought they would give us some fits. And they that interception where Akuta was on the ground, where the ball just fell in his lap, that felt like almost like a turning point in the game because they had driven down. They were at the 20-yard line. They were looking good. The fans were starting to get really into it. They had a lot of momentum, and that just kind of flatlined their momentum. But even if they would have scored, I don't know if it would have made a difference. I'm not really sure. They would have gotten some confidence, but our team, dude, our offense looks amazing. Our defense definitely, I would say our linebacker play is still a little bit, in terms of filling gaps, we're still a little bit sketchy there, if that's the right word. We're still a little bit I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but we're not there yet with linebacker play. The cornerbacks and the safeties they're playing defensive backs playing good. All right. And obviously, I know people have been talking about Damian Arnett greatly improved, but how about Akuta, dude? He has 3 interceptions in the last 2 games. Before that, he had 0 interceptions in his career. Okay, what's going on, man? Did somebody did he start changing up his routine? Did he start drinking, 2 Monsters, 2 Red Bulls before the game? Now he's high energy, completely. He's ready to go. I don't know what's going on with him, man. I don't know. But this might be this. So I was thinking back to the teams that I've seen. I've seen the 2006-2007 team that lost, that got killed in the national title. But like during this regular season, that team was a pretty dominant team. That was a good team. But and I thought back to Urban Meyer's 2014-2015 national title team. But dude, this team might be the most complete I've ever seen Ohio State. Of all the Ohio State teams that I've seen, it's like the first team. It's the first team I can have confidence in. You know, it's the first team where I can be kind of confident. I'm sorry, like they're starting to build up my confidence because, like, 2014 we couldn't be confident, you know, because we lost to Virginia Tech early. Couldn't really be confident about that team up until. No, we really couldn't be confident in that team until never. Maybe again in the national title against Oregon because we beat Alabama. That's when I could be kind of confident. But after that, dude, there's like no time where we could be confident. I mean, the 2015-2016 season where we had Zeke Elliott and we were struggling between JT Barrett and Cardale Jones. That season was a really weird season. We struggled like crazy. We should have been a really dominant team, but we weren't. We were struggling with like teams like NIU and Hawaii or whatever. And that was just and last year I couldn't really have confidence because we could only pass the ball. But this year, dude, having Justin Fields as your quarterback, and when he can throw and he can scramble, and then having J.K. Dobbins, you know, Mr. Shifty over here, though sometimes he does get a little too shifty, but that offensive line too is creating so many holes, and J.K.'s shifty enough where he's like a bowling ball. He just wrecks his way. And Master Teague, he's just an aggressive runner. They're just carving up yards. That offensive line's doing amazing. Having Justin Fields, though, I think the biggest thing that changed is having Justin Fields. The fact that Justin Fields is a runner. I think that's changed everything. I think that's what's opening up holes for Dobbins and Master Teague is having Justin Fields. He's as a quarterback, dude, he is fast, man. So fast, faster than JT, faster. And I would say he's faster than Braxton Miller. I'm just gonna come out and say it, okay? Faster than, not as shifty as Braxton Miller, but just a lot. He's a very solid player, and he looks really fast, dude. That one play where there was two plays. One play there was a wide open hole and he just sprinted right through the gap, and then he got tackled. He had to get tackled by his jersey. It was almost a horse collar, but it wasn't. And then there was one play where it was a wrinkle that Ryan Day, we hadn't seen this before, where it was a 3rd down and 10. He takes one of the wide receivers out wide to the right, shifts him to the left, and then we had a QB draw to the right with a pull and a guard. It was a 3rd and 10, and Justin Fields just he jetted his way straight past that first down marker, man. He's a game changer. And honest, as a freshman, the way he's playing is kind of unbelievable, and the passes that he's making too. He should, although he missed. Here's a knock on Justin. He did miss that one to Olave before the half. Justin, we can do better, Justin. But that pass to Garrett Wilson, where Garrett Wilson almost died. Slamming into the padding. It was a thing of beauty. And Garrett Wilson gets 3 feet in, too. It was an absolute beauty. But Ohio State, man, and people have been asking. I mean, I watch Letterman Row. I watch, all the ESPN analysts. It's like, where is the weakness in Ohio State? Right now, we don't know it. And obviously, we're only 5 games in. And I don't want to jinx it. I think because we're playing Michigan State next week. I think maybe on offense, we might find some issue because Michigan State has a good defense. But, I mean, does Michigan State have a chance? Their offense, I don't know. Last year, our defense was terrible, and we only gave up, 6 points to Michigan State? Whatever it was. However many points, I forget. I think last year was only 6 points give up to Michigan State. And if Michigan State's only scoring 6 points against last year's defense, how are they going to score against us this year? I don't know. They got that quarterback Lewerke. But that's next week. That's next week. Ohio State though, man, they're looking good. But I don't want to talk too soon because we got Wisconsin, which that game really doesn't matter. We got Penn State late in the year and Michigan, yeah, end of the year. So we still got football to play. I feel like if we don't struggle with any of these teams up until Wisconsin, I mean, I think Wisconsin could be our biggest test, maybe even in the season. Okay, because Michigan, I don't want to get cocky against Michigan because the game this year is gonna be at Michigan, and I don't want to jinx anything. But Michigan, dude, I mean, I feel kind of bad for you. Do we feel bad for them? I don't know. Okay, do I feel bad for them? I don't know. Sort of ish, but also I'd rather not have them win. I don't want them to win. Weird, dude. During Michigan versus Wisconsin, I know this is last week, but I didn't get a chance to share my thoughts. When me and my brothers were watching this, we were laughing, laughing at Michigan. Oh my gosh, it was so sad. It's sad, man. I thought Michigan would at least put up a fight, but doing nothing, dude. But they did recover against Rutgers this week. Anyways. And Penn State's another good team that could give us fits, but that's a home game, so I'm hoping that doesn't affect us. Anyways, let's go to some scores. Enough about Ohio State. Let's go to scores this week. All right, so I did get to watch Clemson and North Carolina, which I honestly, Clemson, North Carolina, I agree with I agree with the call to go for 2 points. I mean, you're against number one Clemson. How much time was left? Like 30 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds. You got a chance to win. You got a chance to go ahead if you go for 2. I agreed with it. You're at your team. Clemson's just. I don't think North Carolina could have stuck with Clemson in overtime. So I said I would say go for it. Try to do your thing, but unfortunately they picked it was a stupid. I don't know what the heck they did. I don't know what happened, man. But they didn't get it. But they did almost get that. They did almost get the onside kick, but still didn't work out. But I agree with the call. I wish Clemson would have lost though. It would have been. Dude in the ACC, man? I'm gonna pull this up for myself so I can just explain to you guys, dude. In the ACC, let me go to ACC right here. ACC, dude. Okay, first of all, Virginia should not be ranked. I'm just gonna say this right now. Virginia's so overrated. They almost lost to They beat Old Dominion 28-17 in that game. I'm pretty certain they were down 17-14 or 17-7 at some point at halftime or something. Right? How good Wake Forest is undefeated, but how good they're number 22 now. How good is Wake Forest? I don't know. Clemson is the only team in the ACC. If Clemson doesn't win out, they should not be in the playoff. I know they won last year. I know they're a great team, but you know what it reminds me of? You know what Clemson reminds me of is the 2015 Ohio State team with Ezekiel Elliott. You had JT and Cardale, and you had Braxton Miller. Who else? Was Michael Thomas? Michael Thomas might have been. Was that his? Yeah, I think that was Michael Thomas. Joey Bosa, yeah. When we used to have Devin. I don't know. I think we might have had Devin Smith too. I'm not really sure though. I'm actually not sure if Devin Smith. Doesn't matter. But this year's Clemson team reminds me of that team where it's like struggling with smaller, weaker opponents. Clemson's definitely playing down to its competition for sure. I mean, they did. Here's the deal. Clemson did beat Texas A&M. And how good is Texas A&M? I mean, aren't they 2-2 or 2-3? Oh no, they're 3-2, right? Are they 3-2? I mean, we'll find out if Texas A&M was really a good opponent or not. Texas A&M has a lot of good games coming up in the weeks. I mean, they got Alabama, they got LSU, they got they still have to play Auburn. Oh yeah, I think they still have to play Auburn. They got a few tests in front of them, so. But Wake Forest should not be ranked. Anybody else in the ACC, dude? Duke is your toughest test. I mean, is Pitt going to be your toughest test? Miami's terrible now. Virginia Tech is a joke. Okay, Virginia Tech Hokies, more like Virginia Tech Jokies. I hate myself. Georgia Tech, not good. Clemson already beat them anyways. Syracuse lost to Maryland 70-something or 60-something to 20-something. So Louisville's terrible. NC State's terrible. Boston College, terrible. Florida State, I mean, it's just the ACC. If you cannot run the table on the ACC, Clemson, get out of here, bro. All right? In the words of Chris D'Elia, get a vest with a bunch of pockets and take a hike. All right? But the ACC is an absolute joke this year. Okay. Watch them win all their bowl games, everything. So I got to see that game. Alabama, of course, dominates Ole Miss. Dude. Oh, also, this is another dude. I watched the Oklahoma Texas Tech game. The Big 12 defenses are an absolute. They're abysmal. They are dude. Texas Tech should be embarrassed. Do they even have a defensive coordinator? Do they have defensive coaches? Do they have a defensive scheme? Is there anything that they're doing to improve their defense? Because watching them try to tackle, it was dude, the angles they were taking, man. The angles, the tackling, I was like, this is an absolute joke, and everybody's harping on how great Oklahoma's offense is, and I get it, their offense is really good. Their offense is, I mean, we'll see what happens against Texas with Oklahoma, but their offense seems to be doing pretty good. Their coach Lincoln Riley, he's an offensive guru, but it's just kind of a joke when you have to play a team that literally has you a guy. It was like, was it 41-10 at the time, or whatever, 41-17 or something, and what's their quarterbacks? Jalen Hurts throws the ball to one of his receivers, and the Texas Tech guy has him wrapped up and just kind of like lets him go. He's just like, all right, touchdown. I don't feel like playing anymore, coach. I don't want to play anymore. Just lets him go. It's like really, we're gonna do this, really? Yeah. So it's just a joke. But Big 12, I would say Big 12 is. I mean, yeah, Oklahoma. Wait, let me look at the Big 12 really quickly. Who's in the Big 12? Where am I at right now? Standings. Big 12. Who's in the Big 12? Texas. I know you got Texas, Oklahoma. Oklahoma State. I mean, that's actually it. For the Big 12, it's just Oklahoma and Texas. That's literally it. Baylor's undefeated, though, guys. Watch out. Baylor is undefeated. And then you got Kansas. Yikes. Although, Texas Tech, their offense wasn't even that good in the game. But I know their starting quarterback wasn't. I shouldn't be that hard on them. Their starting quarterback wasn't. He got hurt or something. Anyways, so that was another game that I watched. Terrible. Wisconsin Northwestern, just boring. Wisconsin, it was just such a boring game. But you know, at least Northwestern knew how to defend the daggum run, unlike Michigan. I should talk to you soon, though. Why should Wisconsin gash up Ohio State for 400 yards on the ground? Jonathan Taylor has a Heisman ceiling game. But, you know, and Wisconsin scored 2 defensive touchdowns, I believe, in this game. So if Northwestern doesn't turn the ball over, they win that game. It's 24-15, but Northwestern 1-3. Florida beat Towson 38-0. Good for you, Florida. Notre Dame, Virginia. Like I said, Virginia just seems overrated to me. Right? People are going to be harping about, oh, Notre Dame's so good. Oh, my gosh, Virginia gave him a test, but Notre Dame's so good. It's like, get a conference. Get a conference. Please, Notre Dame, get a conference. Something. Okay, but let me look at their schedule. What's your schedule like? Their schedule is kind of tough, though. Well, actually, wait a second. Tough. So they played at Georgia. That's a tough game. Versus Virginia that's a good game to you versus Virginia. I don't think Virginia is good at all. I view Virginia as a Nebraska kind of, you know, can beat the small teams barely. I don't know. Can beat the small teams, but just not quite. They're just not there. They're just not elite. In quotes, or at least they're probably okay. But when you beat Old Dominion 28-17, I'm still not confident in your team. They do have USC which is weird. Notre Dame has USC in the middle of the season, that's not how it usually is. They do have to go at Michigan, but how good is Michigan? I don't know. They got at Duke. Dude, they might as well join the ACC. They played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ACC teams in their schedule. They might as well be in the ACC. Dude, of course they would schedule 5 ACC teams, bro. Because ACC is terrible. They have Navy. Hopefully Navy can give them a test. And then the last game is Stanford, at Stanford. I don't know, man. Notre Dame's just one of those teams that they never play in the big game. They're like how Ohio State used to be, right? Remember those back-to-back years where Ohio State would go to the national. We went to the national title, but just could not compete. We just couldn't compete. That's where I feel like Notre Dame is. They just cannot compete in the big games. They need to join a conference, and honestly, they should join the ACC. I don't know why they, add a little bit of competition in the ACC, and then we're looking real good, right? You guys, maybe some of you guys disagree. Like, shut up, dude. All right, let's go back here. Let's go back to scores. So what other games were there this week? Oklahoma State beat Kansas State. Michigan State beat Indiana 40-31. I can't believe Michigan State put up 40 points. Yeah, Texas A&M is 3-2. And like I said, Michigan beat Rutgers. That's really okay. That's it. Let's take a look at next week. Let's wrap this up. Let's take a look at next week's schedule. So for week 6, let's have a preview. Let's have a sneak peek here. Any big games this week? So at 11 a.m., Iowa versus Michigan. And where is that at? That's at Ann Arbor. That's in Michigan. Ooh, that's going to be a spicy one. Is it going to be like another Michigan versus Wisconsin where Iowa just is gashing them up? I don't know. That's going to be a tough one for that's going to be a real I'm not going to lie. That could be, first of all, how good is Iowa? We don't know, but that could be a very close game. Very, very, very close game, how it always is. Or Iowa just completely obliterates. Or what if Michigan destroys Iowa? Then maybe Michigan's back, Although I think they still have, even though they beat Rutgers 52-0, how good is Rutgers? Not good. Rutgers might be the worst team in college football. I'll be real. So we got Auburn, Florida. That's going to be a good game. Florida also, how good is Florida? I know Auburn's definitely good. Auburn's a real deal. Auburn's a real deal. Florida, though, I don't know if they're that good. Okay, I don't know if Florida's that good. Ohio State, Michigan State. I think that's pretty much it. And you got Oregon, Cal. Ohio State, Michigan State, and so you got Ohio State, Michigan State. The big games are Ohio State, Michigan State, Auburn, Florida, Iowa, Michigan. You got 3 big games next week. Everything else is pretty much dinkers and dunkers. Georgia, Tennessee. That's gonna be a great game, dude. So we'll see how close this week week is for Ohio State. See if we maybe we stumble this week, or I don't know. I don't see us stumbling against Michigan State though at home. Unless the weather's bad, their offense is abysmal. But their defense is legit. So maybe it might be like a 24-10 game or 24-3, 24-7. I don't know, but I said it was gonna be kind of a close-ish game against Nebraska, but then maybe we pull away late, win 41-20, but we win 48-7, scored 38 points in the first half. So with this Ohio State team, man, I don't know. But and I guess we'll see if Florida's a real deal though this week, and see if Michigan can bounce back against Iowa. All right, you guys, that is all I got for you on the first edition of Just Sports. Make sure you guys drop a like and a subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you so much for watching. If you watched all the way through, comment down below if you have any thoughts. If you think I'm stupid, go ahead, tell me. I don't mind. Or if you have any, different input, maybe, hey, you didn't talk about this, Clay. Hey, you didn't cover this topic. You didn't do this, Clay, okay? Clay, you suck. Just say it. I don't care, guys. I'll read it and I'll absorb the information. All right, you guys. Take it easy. Have a good one. I will see you guys in the next episode. Or if you want to check out my Disclaimer podcast too, all the episodes are on this channel, obviously. And all links to social media and all that stuff is down below if you want to go check me out on Instagram or whatever. Or on my main channel, my main YouTube channel. Take it easy, guys. And have a good day.